Shades of white, burnt orange, rusted reds, and black have been staples of Acoma pottery for hundreds of years. The natural color scheme, pottery shapes, and the lack of glaze make these pieces one of the most recognizable creations in the Southwest. The clay used by Acoma potters is found near their pueblo, located about 60 miles west of Albuquerque. Traditionally, potters would stay close by the pueblo to gather clay. The clay that is preferred by the potters is dense with a natural gray color, though if you look at the photo, no gray is visible. How is this possible? While preparing the clay, potters remove as many impurities as possible and temper it. The temper is typically grounded up pieces of pottery sherds. Those sherds can sometimes be hundreds of years old and allows the potter to connect the past with the present. The tempering process makes the clay porous and helps prevent shrinking and cracking. Additionally, the clay becomes stronger, which allows the potter to form the thin walls of their pots that they are known for. While the clay is still wet, the potter sets it aside in their work area to cure before the piece is created. Once the potter knows the clay is ready, they can begin to work on their piece. The pottery created in this region is made using the coil and scrape method. Potters use pieces of gourd to scrape the clay and smooth it down. Upon completing the piece, the potter applies a slip of liquidized clay on its surface. The slip is made of kaolin clay, and several layers of the slip are used to coat the pot. Kaolin clay comes in a variety of shades, however, the one used for Acoma pottery is an off-white color. The dried and grinded clay is mixed with water and applied onto the piece the potter is working on. Once all the layers of the slip are added, the potter uses a stone to polish its surface. The designs and colors are then painted on the surface of the pot. Once fired, the pot comes out with the white background and colored designs. The kaolin clay is what makes the pottery go from gray to the distinctive shade of white. The pigments used by the potters are created using natural materials that are available to them. Objects such as plants, other clays, and minerals are gathered from and near the pueblo and are ground up to make the pigments. The right mixture of pigment, water, and binder must be used to ensure that the colors come out bold and not flaky. Acoma pottery is fired at a higher temperature, making the pot sturdy and strong. During the firing process, the manure, which is used for fire, may touch the pot and create a dark spot on its surface. Known as a fire cloud, these types of imperfections are used as a means of identifying whether a pot was fired in a traditional kiln rather than an electric one. Painting designs on pottery is a time-consuming process. Although some potters use modern brushes, there are some who still paint in the traditional way using yucca brushes. The yucca brush, with its thin, pointed tip, allows for the clean and precise lines you see on the surface. Look at the photo and note the number of thin lines, particularly on the double-headed rainbird. Now, take a moment to look at the overall line work on the pot. How long do you think it took the artist to create these designs? Painting these lines is hard on the eye, so potters will take breaks every 15 to 20 minutes to rest. Designs can vary and are often inspired by the ancient pieces of pottery sherds. Designs can include the double-headed rainbird, other animals, natural elements like clouds and rain, and of course the line work. The Yakama Pueblo is built in a mesa on top of a steep sandstone bluff. The pueblo, which is also known as Sky City, is recognized as the longest continuously occupied settlement in North America, having been occupied since 1150 AD. The pueblo is home to over 250 dwellings, and the mission church that was constructed by the Spanish in the 1600s still stands. An early interest in Acoma pottery helped establish the tourist market in the pueblo during the early 20th century. Today, the pueblo and the San Esteban del Rey Mission Church are on the National Register of Historic Places. Mr. Taylor purchased this pot when he was about 15 years old while on a trip with his family. When they stopped at Acoma, he saw this pot. Taken in by its beauty, he purchased it directly from the artist. This pot is displayed in the Sala Grande for all to see and is part of an extraordinary pottery collection at the Taylor Mesilla Historic Property.